What's going on, beautiful people? So today I wanted to make a message. I just gave a really powerful session, and as always, I like to share the insights that come through when I feel like it could be useful for you. And this one's a really great piece about, when you have that feeling, that fear of not wanting to leave people behind or people who might make you feel guilty when all you want to do is follow your joys, your inspirations, and your excitements. All right? So, if you're one of those people who you just want to move more towards your joys and your inspirations, but maybe you have that family member or lover or even friend who just kind of weighs you down and maybe even makes you feel bad for living your life, then this message is for you. All right. So what was coming through in the session was basically all around the idea of choosing your path, choosing your fun, choosing your inspiration, which is what a lot of these sessions are about, right? But in this scenario, the person who I was talking to, her family member, would always come to her with this sense of, like, oh, while you were gone, things were really hard for me. I felt alone, I felt rejected, which would make my client, the person, feel bad and feel like, oh, like I'm sorry and need to comfort her, and then would make her feel bad for choosing her path. So, what I highlighted for her was how she's actually doing her family member a great disservice by continuing to comfort her like that. And the reason being is this: I want you to imagine that if you feel like you need to save or comfort or sympathize with anybody, in this case a family member, it's as if you're holding them inside of you. You're holding a piece of them inside of you, saying, I need to take care of this piece of them because they don't know how to do it for themselves, because they feel certain ways. But in reality, that piece of them that you're holding inside of you is a puzzle piece. It's their puzzle piece that you've been holding, meaning they can never actually feel the completeness that they're looking to feel. All right, does that make sense? So, as long as you're holding someone inside of you, like, I need to take care of this person because I feel bad, I want you to imagine that that's you holding a puzzle piece of theirs inside of you that they can't use to complete themselves and see the full picture. So, the idea is to be willing to let go of that person inside of you. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to say goodbye to that person or kick them out of your life or anything like that. It's just letting go of them inside of you, letting go of that puzzle piece of them inside of you, saying, oh, I didn't realize that this was a puzzle piece. I didn't realize that this is what I've been doing. I thought I had to care for this because you don't seem to know how to do it. But by me holding on to this puzzle piece, you'll never get the full picture, regardless of how the path looks. So, with that said, I recognize now that what I've been doing is actually being a disservice to you. Even if it looks like comfort, even if it looks like sympathy, I've actually been doing you a disservice because I'm not giving you back this piece. So instead, what I'm going to do is, by choosing joy, by virtue of choosing my joy, my inspiration, my inner guidance, my path, I'm also intentionally, deliberately going to be giving this piece of me back to you. I'm going to let go of you inside of me. That way, as soon as you do that, as soon as you choose, okay, I'm going to let this go, it'll automatically go back to the other person, and that person will automatically begin to shift. That's the magic in this. Doesn't mean that they're going to have whatever breakthroughs or whatever they need right away, but they will automatically begin to shift because you shifted. It's the law of reflection. So the idea is, if I were to break this down into step by step, would be to first become conscious of the piece of someone that you're holding inside of you, or pieces, maybe you have multiple people. Become aware of that, recognize how it's actually been a disservice to hold this, and then just be willing to let it go. Just willing. The emphasis is on the word willing. Be willing to let those people, those pieces go inside of yourself, and then through that willingness, choose more of your joy. Choose more of your inspiration, choose more of your path. And then by doing so, because you brought consciousness to that willingness, and because you chose to shift towards more of your inspiration and fun, regardless of how the path looks, what you'll be doing is you'll be shifting your vibration into your own higher vibration, and then as a side effect, those puzzle pieces could no longer vibrate inside of you. They will no longer be a resonant match to the new shifts you made inside yourself. In other words, you don't need to focus on letting go of every piece and going, oh no, oh no. You don't need to focus on doing that. Just bring consciousness to that this is what you've been doing. And then when you have the willingness to let it go, then when you shift towards more of your joy, you'll naturally start to release it. Because then when situations come up with the family members, the lovers, the parents, the whoever, you're going to know not to go into the heaviness with them, not to go into the darkness with them, because that's not serving any purpose. Because if someone comes to you over here and they're feeling heavy and poor me and all that stuff, and you're in your vibration over here, how does it serve them for you to drop your vibration and meet them where they're at? If what they need is to lighten up, how does it serve them for you to feel guilty, for you to feel sympathy, to feel any of those things, to comfort them where they're at? Because that's you saying that I believe that you have a problem. I should feel sorry for you. Let me comfort you. Instead, the idea is when they come to you with this, to recognize, oh, I might have a puzzle piece of theirs. Let me continue on my path and say, hey, you got this. You're amazing. Whatever your joy wants to express, whatever your true inspiration wants to express, not what your guilt wants to express, whatever your joy wants to express from that loving space, that will be the releasing of the puzzle pieces, and that will create the space necessary so that they can see whatever it is that they need to see inside themselves. And again, it doesn't mean it'll happen right away, but at least you've created the opportunity for it to be able to happen. All right? So, hope that makes sense, because this will be a huge game changer for you, because equally as much as you've been holding pieces of other people inside yourself, that means you haven't been holding pieces of yourself inside of you. So as you release those pieces and you choose more fun and joy, and you create that space inside yourself by releasing people from you inside yourself, then now you've created space for more of your essence, more of your inner being, more of your spirit to infuse inside of you, and then you'll become a more whole being. All right? So hope this video was helpful for you guys. I know this could be a really big one. This could be a game changer for a lot of you. If you did find this helpful, if you found it useful, please go on ahead and share it. That way other people can get the message. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them below. And that's it. All right? Lots of love, guys. Peace.